Hey guys, so I'm back again today to do another kind of tutorial. I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting and contouring today. I'm going to be kind of practicing. I'm having some photos done for my business cards and things like that. So when you have pictures done, it kind of helps define your facial features and things like that if you do your highlighting and your contouring. I don't feel like I have enough like bone structure right here, so that actually really helps me whenever I do my contouring and then highlighting my cheekbones and things like that, bringing out my good features and withdrawing and defining and sculpting out my face. So today my eyeshadow is going to consist of an oldie but goodie. This is Earthbound. This is one of the At Play eyeshadows. It's got a dark, almost like emerald or hunter green, a dark, deep, like chestnut brown, and then it's kind of got a, the highlighting color is, I don't know, I mean, it's really light, but it has a brown goldish tint to it. As I said, I'm really big into shimmery colors. At Plays are all shimmery, but I'm also going to go in with, of course, Honey Spice and also Emerald as well, just to kind of give that green and the browns a little bit more depth and definition. Okay, so my very first thing I'm going to do is, if I can find it, I like to use a cream eyeshadow pencil as my base when I use these. So this one, of course, it's like super tiny and I sharpened the wrong end a while back. But this one, I believe it's called Gold Mine. And it's just a really light goldish color. But these are cream and they work really good as a base or a primer or whatnot for your eyeshadow. So I'm just going to apply that in like no rhyme or reason, just kind of to get it on there. And then I'm just going to use my finger just to kind of blend it out. This is going to help hold my eyeshadow in place, and it's also going to give it more color. And then it evens out my eyelids to where you don't see the veins and dark colors from my actual eyelid as well. As you can see, it's very light. It's just a light goldy shimmery color. And then I'm going to go in with the green color. Actually, I'm going to go in with the Honey Spice like I always use. I'm just going to kind of put that in and above my crease all the way up to where my highlighter is going to go. Again, that's just a easy way to make sure that your colors flow and don't have any harsh, drastic color changes between your eyeshadows. And then I'm going to go in with the green from Earthbound. These are really, really great earth tones. I know when I first saw this green, like I refused to wear it because green is a pretty dense, pretty loud kind of color. But I have like hazily brown eyes. So when I wear greens, it really brings out that green tint to my brown eyes. So I think greens are really, really good for brown eyes. And then I'm just going to go over here and do the same thing. Apply that just to my lid. I'm also going to show you some of our spring, the cream eyeshadow duos. I was going to do those today, but since I'm wanting to practice on my highlighting and things, these are going to be kind of like just when you're going to the beach or going out with friends, you're going to be outside a lot. It's just something that you can kind of throw on to where you have makeup on, but you're not all made up and dolled up. So, all right, now I'm going to go in with the emerald. We also have one, I can't remember what that one's called, but I'm going to go in with a darker green. And just kind of put it out here in the corner. And then bring it in a little bit. Like I said, this other green is just kind of to give it more definition. Change it up just a little bit. It's not going to do a whole lot. Just give you a little bit more added color right there. I was so scared of greens in the past that I just refused to wear them. And I wish I would have been using them all along. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with the brown in this trio. They don't have individual names for these, so I don't exactly know what the name of this brown is. But I'm just going to put that right there in the V. These colors are so pretty on any skin tone. Once people actually get over the fear of the colors of these in the compacts and they actually try them, they absolutely love them. And I've used them on blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes. Oh my goodness, you should see that stuff on green eyes. It's gorgeous. People who have a darker complexion, it definitely works really, really well on them as well. It really brings out their eyes and complements their skin tones so well. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in with my shader brush by Mary Kay. And I'm just going to go and kind of blend that up so there's not any harsh lines or anything, as usual. If I can say one thing to anybody that's, you know, very reserved on the colors that they use, makeup is not some scary thing. You know, I mean, it can be washed off at any point in time if it's not something that you like. But experimenting and trying different colors instead of going with the same basic colors every single day will really change up any outfit, any look that you're going for. So, you know, get outside the box. Try something different every now and again. It'll really pay off. Because like I said, I used to be nothing but plums or just browns. That was it. I didn't use anything else. Definitely never used a blue. And now I've gotten to where I really like to use blues. Not all the time. Just, you know, for like special occasions or whatnot. I'm just going in with some honey spice to go on the very top of that. To kind of soften that up a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with the green again and pop that right there on the ball like I always do. Like I said, I layer a lot more than some people do just because I feel like that's the best way to control it. It turns out looking a lot better to me than it does like if I just go in and do it really dark the very first time. Alright, and once that gets on there, I'm just going to buff all of that out with my shader brush. Soften and smooth all those colors and the lines and stuff together. This is why I hate the lighting, because it looks like I have eyeshadow too far in, but it's really not. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the lightest color, the highlighter. And I'm just going to put that right up here. And that's still going to coordinate with all of these colors. They did a great job on getting the colors that would work so well and complement one another and putting into these baked eye trios. I know I've seen some trios that I didn't really like all the colors that were in it. But these really are, like, they work perfectly together. They flow really nicely. Alright, I'm just going to darken up that brown just a little bit. Because you always want to go from dark to light towards the inside. Okay. And then I'm also going to put some of that highlighter right here in the corner to lighten up some of that green and to open up my eyes a little bit. Check it out in my mirror. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Mary Kay black eyeliner. I think we do have a green out. I'm not sure if it's out right now, but we a lot of times come out with that. That would be really super pretty because it's like a really deep, like hunter green. So that would accent that green color. And a lot of times I will go in with that green and pop it right under there onto my lash line pretty densely. But since eyeshadow is not really my main focus today, I'm not really going to do that. And just go ahead and come up and then draw it all the way in to meet my inner corner. I really probably should be using the gel to practice with, but it really intimidates me, and I don't know why. Like I told you before, I mean, it's just makeup. I could always wash it off, but it's one of those things. I have to get up the nerve to be able to do it. So, okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use my Mary Kay, I believe this one is Ivory 1 concealer, and put that all under my eyes. As you can see, I have pretty bad circles and bags as well under my eyes. But I'm going to put my foundation on first. But this right here is what I'm going to use as kind of my highlighter underneath my eyes. So, okay. Let me get back in order like I'm supposed to be. Like I said, used to, I would put my concealer on first and then put my foundation on, and that was the absolute backwards thing to do. Okay, so I'm just going in with my CC cream in light to medium. I'm just going to kind of use my kabuki brush. Ladies, this is definitely something I would recommend. I used a liquid foundation brush for years and years, and you know, I really thought it looked good, but like the more that I paid attention, the more it looked like I had painted it onto my face, and that's not what I want. I want to have a very airbrushed, natural look to my skin, and this really does that. I know there's so many brushes out there, and you know, you really don't, if you're not really that educated on the brushes and what they're used for and what they're good for, I mean, it's really hard to pick the right brush for you. So I would recommend like going and just buying like a really super cheap one, just to see if you like the application. I'm sorry guys, I'm like getting sick, so I'm going hoarse. But I would definitely do that and see, because I mean you're going to see a huge difference in the way that your foundation looks once you get it on with this brush. But it's just a flat top kabuki, so it's gives really even application. It gets into good little nooks and crannies. And it just doesn't look, I don't know if it's the way that the bristles are made or what, but it doesn't look like it's painted on, so that's great. Okay, so now for my concealer. Like I said, I am a beige 2 usually, probably a little bit lighter right now because of winter time, and I am just like so white. But I'm going to use Ivory 1. And they always tell you to come down and do like a triangle. And work it all the way up underneath that eye. And down like the side of your nose and back up right through there. So I'm going to do that again to the other side. And you can use a concealer brush for this. I find that just using my finger just to pat actually blends it a lot better than anything else really does. Because again, you're going to get those brush strokes and stuff. And this is going to make it look a lot more natural. Okay. So now we've got our concealer on. And these are what I was going to show you. There's 3 different ones. There's also, well, there's 4. The other one is like super, super deep. Of course, I don't need that. Let me put my glasses on, ladies. All right, the highlighting pen, I believe this one is the number 3. This is the one, and it looks really light in the camera, but it's actually pretty dark. I don't need anything super dark, so I could use this to contour with, but I really like our bronzer. It looks really, really good, so I like to use my bronzer as my contour. Then there is the shade 1, and it's more of like a reddish pink tone. I've used this one to highlight before, and it works really, really well. I'm actually going to use a new one. This one is the number 2. It's really light, but I'm going to use this one today to highlight with. And all you do is you twist this down here, and it will pop the product out the tip right there. And then it's got like these little paintbrush things. So I'm going to use that right here and down my nose. I'm also going to use it in the corners of my nose. Cupid's bow. And also on my chin. And right here around the outside of my mouth. You can use any kind of blending brush. This one is actually a mineral powder foundation brush, but I like it that it's flat. And I used it yesterday on my client, and it really did work super, super good. So I'm just going to pat it and kind of blend it up, just like that, up into my forehead. You can work it a little bit over your eyebrows as well, and give it a little bit of highlighting on top of your eyebrows as well. And down the center of my nose, my chin, to lighten all of this up. So you don't want to like rub. You just want to pat around the outside of my nose. And just make sure you've got all that blended in really well. Cupid's bow. When you highlight things, that's going to bring the highlighted areas out and the darkened areas are going to sink back. So doing your Cupid's bow is actually going to make your upper lip look more full. So it's really super easy way to manipulate your facial features. It's really awesome. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my bronzer. And I'm going to use the darker one. We have two different shades. This one is the darker one. I think it's like the medium. And I just use my normal blush brush, and then I pinch it and make it straight. You do like that, and you're going to go from about the middle of your ear right there to those hollows. Don't come too far forward because you're going to look, it's going to be too drastic. I usually just do it right there and bring it all the way back to my ear. Just right there. Like I said, you don't have to bring it too far forward because that's what the blending is for. So that's going to blend it out really well. And you can bring it farther forward once you start blending. Okay, and then I'm also going to do it right here. Right here. Bring a little tiny bit across the top. Okay. Now if you're wanting a super dramatic contour line, you can go a lot darker. It's a lot easier if you use just a bronzer, or if you get like a powder that's 2 or 3 shades darker than your skin tone. That's a really good way. That's going to be your color that you're wanting to contour with. So I'm just going to work this back and forth and just get it nice and blended in really well. Some people also contour right around their jawline to make that more definite. I have a pretty strong jawline, so I don't really have to do that. Okay. And then you're just going to blend this in. Work it right across. blending takes a lot of patience. Anything that you put onto your face can be blended out, really. I mean, unless you just go super overboard. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and do my, well, if I can find it. If I can't, that's okay. Usually, yep, there it is. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and define my eyebrows. This also is going to help define and give you more definition in your face as well. If you've never done your eyebrows before, I suggest you try it. It's something that I never did before, but now that I have, I've realized like it really does make a big difference. And you just go in kind of heavy-handed on the inside and then get lighter as you go out. Okay, so you can see the difference. This one looks a lot more shapely and put together than this side does. Okay, so now we've got our eyebrows done. Just go in and soften those lines up and break them up with your, a lot of people use a spoolie. I just use my little eyebrow and eyelash brush just to kind of soften up any of those lines that I made. You don't want to get close up or take a picture and then have these stark, like, definite lines in your eyebrows. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my mineral powder. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use my translucent powder. This is, I'll just have a little bit on my lid. It's very white, but it is for anyone and everyone. I know a lot of people get really scared of that. And I'm just going to pack it right there where my concealer is. So it's going to set that concealer really well, but it's not going to take away or add on any color whatsoever. That's what I really like about translucent powder, is it doesn't put any color or anything. It's completely translucent. It's just going to set everything that you've done to where nothing shifts around or moves during the day. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on my blush. I'm going to use the Sparkling Cider. I didn't realize, because I didn't really know anything about makeup, but there's 3 portions to your cheeks, and there is your contour, your blush, and then your highlight area. And I know that seems like a lot, and it's not something that you want to do every day, but like I said, I'm having pictures done, so I'm really wanting to define my facial features and look a little more dolled up than what I usually do. Okay, then I'm going to go in with my highlighter, the pink porcelain, and just get a little bit of that on my brush. Doesn't take a whole lot. And I'm going to put that right along the upper part of my cheeks. As you can see, it gives me a little bit of a glisten, but it doesn't make me look oily. And then you can also put it right here in your temples. It's a really good place for it. Okay, now for people that have like an undefined nose, you could also take it'd be a lot easier to use an actual highlighting pen or contour pen. Just one that's in a darker shade than what you usually would wear. And draw a line right down here and underneath. And that's going to give your nose more of a sculpted, rounded, chiseled look than, like I have a little piggy nose. So if I wanted to do something about that, I could just draw the line down and go around. Okay, so now for my mascara. The ultimate mascara for the volumizing and to make them look a lot thicker than they are. I may end up wearing false lashes for my pictures, but I have really got to practice on that because I tried to put them on the other day and I had them halfway up my forehead. Not cute. So that's something that I definitely need to work on, which I have a lot that I need to work on. And I'm sorry if you think that I am dumber than a box of rocks and I know nothing about makeup. I'm trying, you know? Give me a break. Practice makes perfect, right? That's what I heard in school. Also, if you're doing anything like pictures or a wedding or anything like that, and you're going to be outside, make sure to use your foundation primer from Mary Kay as well. That's also going to fight oil. So if you're up there sweating bullets, that's going to help fight oil and everything for up to 8 hours. So that should be plenty of time. You don't want to be all oily and glistening in your pictures, except for in your highlighted areas. But you definitely don't want to be that way in your T-zone, where it just looks like you're oily. So, brides or people that are going to prom or anything like that, foundation primer, eyeshadow primers, lipstick primer, mascara primer, prime. That is going to make it last forever. And it looks really, really good. You know, once you put all of that on, it actually does make a lot of a difference. The foundation primer is going to even out any like blemishes. If you have like really deep pores, that's going to kind of go over those and make them more smooth and even. So, big tip. And I am going to use that Retro Rose again. I'm telling you girls, I am in love. I have never used a lip gloss or a lipstick or whatever this is that actually has the staying power that this one does. And since I'm wearing browns and neutral and earth tones, that's what I'm going to use. It stays so awesome. And then, you know, throughout the day, all you have to do, if you're still wanting that glossy look, I'm going to show you a great lip gloss that will go over the top of it. And that is our Cream and Sugar. You can put this on top of anything and it's going to lighten it up and also give it more of like a shimmer. On a lip gloss, if you're wanting to add more fullness to your lips, make them look more pouty, applying it right here and right here. No further. You don't have to go all the way out. Now, if you're not worried about having fuller lips, you can just keep it like usual and cover your entire lip. But just put that on and kind of work it in. But that's going to give you the pouty, more puckered up look. So, alright. So, yeah. The contour, let's see if I can get you in a better light as usual. The contour definitely made my face more chiseled and gave me more definition. The highlighting really looks fantastic. I don't look sweaty or tacky or anything like that. It just gives you a highlighted look. Now, if you want more of like a Kim Kardashian look, you have to go a lot heavier on the contour and a lot heavier on the highlighting as well. The eyeshadow that I use, just browns and greens, they look really good on my eye color, but they are great for any skin tone, any eye color. You can go as dark or as light with these colors as you want. Of course, I like mine a lot more dark. So, if you have any questions or if you want to know anything more about the products that I used today, just leave me a comment down below. I'm also going to leave my website as well, so you can check all of our products out that I used today are on that website. So yeah, just leave me a comment. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Thanks.